Greetings, this is Pastor Steve coming to you on Thursday, June 18th on my front porch of the parsonage, and I want to offer you this weekly update. First, I want to share with you a story that I read in my morning devotion this morning. It's an anonymous story, and it tells about a very conscientious student who on the final exam breezed through all the questions, and then she got to the very last question. The question was, what is the name of the woman who cleans the floor in the building every night? Now the student knew the woman. She had seen her many times, knew that she had dark hair, looked like she was about 50 years old, but she wasn't able to answer that question. Another student raised her hand and asked the teacher, is that question going to be part of the grade? And the teacher said, yes, absolutely. Said, you're going to meet a lot of people in your life, and all of them are important. All of them matter. And it's good to learn their names, and even if you don't know their names, it's good to acknowledge them with a smile and to let them know that they matter. You matter. You are a child of God, and Cara and I are deeply grateful for all of you, and I'm grateful for the ways in which you are spreading the message that all people matter. If you didn't get a chance to watch the Worship by Wire for last Sunday, I invite you to look at that. I was preaching on the Psalm 116 in Romans 5, where it says, the psalmist says, to walk before the Lord in the land of the living. I organized a sermon around 4 questions, which I think can be helpful for our walk in life and faith, as well as ways to approach Scripture. The first question is to ask ourselves, what is our purpose? What is the Scripture's purpose? To ask ourselves, what is our pain? To learn from our pain. What is our prayer? What are we praying for? And what is our plan? So if you haven't had a chance, I invite you to see that and share it with others. I also want to invite you to watch a video that was just published this week from our Bishop Tracy Malone on the East Ohio Conference website. She's reminding us that this is the week of annual conference. Had it not been for coronavirus, we would all be at Lakeside right now and there to do the business of the annual conference and the amazing worship services. So we're missing that. This is the first time in just about anybody's memory that I don't know that anybody can remember when annual conference was postponed. So these are unprecedented times. I want to lift up a couple things from the bishop's video. The first is she fixed appointments. So at annual conference, the appointments for pastors, because we're itinerant, we go where the bishop and the cabinet sends us so that we can have the greatest impact for the entire region of the East Ohio Conference. And she fixes those appointments at annual conference because that's postponed. She fixed the appointments in this video, and I am so happy and excited that my appointment at Faith United has been fixed for the coming conference year, July 1st through June 30. In addition, Jake Heskett, his appointment as our associate pastor has now been fixed to be our associate pastor at Faith United. These are great things, and I'm thrilled. The other thing I want to lift up is the bishop shared with us a message from the Council of Bishops of the United Methodist Church. The Council of Bishops are inviting all United Methodists to join together and join Christians from around the world to stand up for the dismantling of racism in all of its various forms. To that end, we are being invited, encouraged, and challenged to take part in 4 actions. The first action is to read as much as you can on the subject of anti-racism, to grow in our knowledge and to learn about that. I would add to that to watch videos, documentaries, or listen to podcasts. What is it that you're tapping into that's being helpful in understanding the challenge and the reality of racism and how we can dismantle it? Second, to engage in conversations with children, youth, and adults about the topic of racism and how to dismantle racism. Third, we're calling all United Methodists to support peaceful protest. How is it that we can support peaceful protest? And then the fourth one is to enter into a season of prayer, 30 days beginning today, praying every day, once at 8:46 a.m. and then again at 8:46 p.m. to pray for 8 minutes and 46 seconds, which is the length of time that the officer had his knee on George Floyd's neck. When we pray, we want to pray first for those who have been most affected by oppression and racism. Next, we want to pray for police officers, first responders, and all who are in public service and the challenges that they face so that they can live into the highest ideals and calling of their service to model for all of us the ways in which we are to care for one another in our communities. And third, to pray for the church. This is a time like other times in history, but this is a time when the church is being called upon to stand up and to show and to lead the way for how to make a difference in the world as we do what we can to dismantle racism. And so, to that end, we have created a page on our website called Anti-Racism, and I invite you to look at that page. You'll find some resources there provided by Kathy Schmucker, but it's also a place where we're inviting you to help us provide resources. And so I encourage you, as you engage in those actions, to email our webmaster, Dane Llewellyn, and email him the ways in which you're engaging in those practices and those actions. Email him the ways it's affecting you. How is it that you're growing in your understanding of racism and the ways in which perhaps you never knew that you were participating in the systems that perpetuate racism. Share with him resources that you're finding helpful. We can put that on the website and we can share it with everyone. So I hope you might participate in that. Next, I want to give you a report on our New Beginnings team. Again, the New Beginnings team is a group of people that is working on all the things that need to happen so that we can reopen the church for in-person gatherings and in-person worship. And they have just been doing an amazing job in all of their work. We call them the New Beginnings team because we want to emphasize that we know when we do return to in-person gatherings and worship, it will be a new beginning. It will be different than anything like we were used to when we were last together in person. Let me share with you a few things that they've been doing. So they've been doing a lot of research, and for example, one of the questions that they wanted to find the answer to is, hey, how many folks in the congregation are age 60 and above and are considered to be at a higher risk? So I want to share with you that report. We have 39% of the Faith United congregation that are age 60 and above. That's 406 people. However, we have 19% or 201 people for whom we do not know their age. Our database does not have their birth date. You can help us by checking and seeing. If you're not sure, you can just email your date with the year of your birth to Amanda Engelhart so she can add that so we can have more accurate information there. It's very possible that out of those 201 people, perhaps half of them are age 60 and above. So we're concerned about those who are at higher risk. The other thing the research is showing us, though, is that the coronavirus increasingly is affecting people of all ages and all levels of health. So we're concerned about that, and we want to reinforce that they're trying to do all that we can to make it so that when we're together, we're doing everything to minimize the risk of spreading the virus and to make us as safe as possible. The other thing that they found out from the research is that worship in person is still considered a very high risk activity for the spread of coronavirus. The reason is that whenever you're in the indoors, that increases the risk. Whenever you're in proximity of more than 50 people, obviously the more people, that increases the risk, even with 6 feet apart and with wearing facial coverings. And then the longer you're together, so we would be together for about an hour. And so all of those factors raise the risk of the spread of the coronavirus. And so we're doing all that we can to prepare to minimize those risks. Now, I'm excited to share with you the progress that has been made. First of all, our head custodian, Mike Wallington, has studied the airflow in the sanctuary. Knowing how the air flows is part of the requirements that restaurants need to meet by the CDC before they can open. So we're following those guidelines as well. Mike also looked into the specifications of our air filter and confirmed that they do meet the requirements set out by the Centers for Disease and Control. In addition to that, we have placed on order a fogger, a sterilizing fogger spray that can be sprayed in the sanctuary, and just in a matter of 10 or 15 minutes, the entire space can be sterilized. In addition to that, we've ordered some UV light, ultraviolet light sterilizers that can be used to disinfect and sterilize other types of surfaces. We will be preparing to wipe down all of the doorknobs and other areas that have a lot of contact. We're working on identifying and purchasing the equipment with 2020 funds so that we can do live streaming, so that when we do open, we will be continuing to provide an online alternative so that people can stay at home if that is going to be the safer option for them. In addition, we're working on signs. We are coming close to the finalizing of those designs and get those ordered so that we can have the appropriate signage in the various places in the church another necessary step. And then we are also working on organizing various teams. We need folks to be trained as greeters for Sunday morning. We need folks to be trained as ushers and folks to be trained to help with the disinfecting, the sterilizing, and the cleaning. We actually added in our most recent survey, we put a survey out to the congregation last week. The New Beginnings team wants to hear from the congregation as part of their study. And there are 2 questions that were added that ask you to be a part of volunteering to be part of those trained teams. I'm thrilled to announce that before yesterday we published the email and invited people to take the survey. Up until that point, we had 31 people take the survey. Since yesterday, just 24 hours ago, we've now had over 170 people take the survey. This is wonderful news. I encourage you, if you've not done it already, click on the link. It takes less than 5 minutes and you can help us. The more people from the congregation, the better. We want that information to help us make the best decisions possible. I'm so thrilled with the New Beginnings team, and I want you to keep them in your prayers. They're doing a great job. They consist of Pam Holt, Kathy Schmucker, Taylor Sowers, Megan Stuck, Cindy Wilcox, Jake Heskett, Jonah Mitchell, Pastor Cara, and myself. Each of them brings a particular expertise to the table to ensure that we're doing this right and well. Once we have our plan prepared, we will have a called church board meeting, probably by Zoom, where we can review the plan that's put in place and, if necessary, make any edits or revisions, and then adopt the plan so that we can move forward to open for in-person gatherings and in-person worship. We've been saying that we don't know when we'll be able to open for in-person gatherings of worship, but we know that it would not be sooner than July 12th. What we know now is that it will be sometime after July 12th. We still don't know when, but it will be sometime after July 12th. I hope you can appreciate, though, now a little bit better all that's going into the planning and the progress that's being made. Just a lot of things that had to be taken into consideration. Once we're ready to open for in-person gatherings and worship, even with all of the things that the New Beginnings team has put in place, it will still depend, the effectiveness and the success will still depend on you and everyone's full participation and cooperation. To that end, we're going to be needing to wear our facial coverings. Nobody likes to wear these that I know of. I don't particularly care to wear them, but I wear it. And one of the things we're inviting you to do is think of somebody for whom you're wearing your mask. Encourage you to wear it whenever you're out in public spaces and when you come to church, when we start that up again, to wear your mask. Think about who you're wearing it for. And so I am wearing my mask for Cheryl Seiler, our Director of Administration and Finance. Cheryl, it's your turn. You're tagged. Who do you wear your facial covering for? Next, I want to share with you an update on our sanctuary renovations. I'm thrilled to announce that today, Thursday, they are finishing up all the final details and they'll be wrapping that up today. Tomorrow, we're scheduled tomorrow morning to have the inspection, and I'm pretty sure that we're going to pass, and then we will be ready to celebrate that the sanctuary renovations will be complete. It is our hope that we will be able to do the filming for this Sunday's Worship by Wire in the newly renovated sanctuary. So tune in on Sunday and look to see if we were able to do that. If you want, you can watch any of the videos. I'm providing the links below that chronicle the progress from beginning until this week of all of the sanctuary renovations, all of those step-by-step time-lapse photos. Next, I want to share with you about Vacation Bible School. Vacation Bible School starts next week on Monday, and it goes through Friday. This past Monday, we finished all of the recordings, and a great shout out for Kathy Schmucker, all the work that she put into this as our Director of Spiritual Formation, as well as her team, the Spiritual Formation team, as well as several other people who came in to be part of those videos to make them amazing, including Jonah Mitchell, our pastoral intern. He was a part of Vacation Bible School filming as well. You can still register. In fact, you can always register. That's not going to close. Kathy had been saying register by Monday in order to get the VBS kit. She told me just this morning that there are plenty left over, and go ahead and register, and she's going to try to get kits out to anybody and everybody that wants one. But even if we run out of kits, you will still get an amazing experience out of Vacation Bible School through the video by participating in that. So with or without the kit, it is an incredible experience. I hope that you'll tune in and be a part of it. This year we have a really, truly unique experience because VBS is being done on video. Everybody in the congregation can be a part of experiencing Vacation Bible School. So I hope that you'll tune in. We'll be sending the email out every day next week, Monday, Tuesday, each of them with a fresh video, and you can watch them on your own schedule and be a part of that. To that end, I want to invite you to be part of a vision. I would like for you to help realize a vision. So here it is. The theme for Vacation Bible School is Rocky River, Jesus' power pulls us through. And every day, the power of Jesus is being compared to the power of a steam engine that's able to pull a steam train locomotive through the Rocky Mountains, which absolutely is an amazing feat. Well, I want you to imagine this rocky railway circumventing the globe. That's right. I want you to imagine Vacation Bible School going around the world, and we can do this together. Just share the registration link, share the YouTube video link, share them with all of your contacts, your friends, your family, especially if you have grandchildren. What's great is they can join us literally from wherever they are by just clicking the link and tuning in. There's no charge. This is a unique experience this year because the publisher, Group Publishing, for the first time ever, because of coronavirus and because of the need for churches to make this available online, they're letting us keep those videos up of their proprietary material, plus ours, for 30 days. So over the next 30 days, we literally can get this year's Faith United Vacation Bible School shared with people around the world. I hope that you'll help us do that with all of the links. We can do this. Jesus' power will pull us through. Trust Jesus. Next, I want to invite you to tune in to Worship by Wire this Sunday. Cara will be preaching this Sunday and next Sunday, June 28th. It'll be her last 2 Sundays with us. And she's going to use those last 2 Sundays to provide a farewell address, during which time she will be reflecting on and celebrating all the various ways that have touched her in these past 11 years, ways in which God has worked in and through this congregation. And so I hope that you'll be able to tune in and be a part of this Sunday and next Sunday as well. Jan Baker wanted me to remind you that this Sunday, the 21st, is the time when the congregation is invited to come out and celebrate all of the ministries that Cara has led as our co-pastor in the last 11 years. The details of that were printed on the pink sheet, pink paper that went out with the mailing a few weeks ago. If you lost it or if you didn't get that, then Jan says just call her, because I don't know the details, Cara doesn't know the details, and we're trying to make this a surprise. So they're trying to make it a surprise. So contact Jan Baker if you need to know what the details are for that. Finally, I have an additional prayer to share with you. I was brought to my attention that Mary Jane Stryker is having shoulder surgery today. So please pray for her, for the surgery and for her recovery. She would appreciate that very much. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Go in peace.